Nobu was a
Nobu,
soft boy.
Nobu is a soft boy.
It's true.
So like, I'm really curious about what it would feel like to like, I don't know, be nice. Is that the right way to put it?
Yes.
But yeah, Nobu is totally a soft boy.
That is true. I mean, he is very sweet and nice, but he's also slightly oblivious. I think
But
that
that's, I
comes.
think, a qualifier for being sweet and nice.
Yes, yes, it is.
It's about the type of information that you can take in through your perspective,
Yeah. He's
right?
wrong. Yeah.
Right? I mean, but I honestly think that Nobu actively also just decides, which we see later. Like he decides to, in a lot of cases, just not want to know the truth
Yeah.
because he's a romantic,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because
Yeah,
he's a soft boy.
it's true.
Sorted. I need to add, the reason I found out I deleted all of the bios that I was working on is because I was going to add soft boy to the list for Nobu, even though I found myself writing a lot more for Nobu than the other characters.
There are things to say about Nobu.
He's so nice.
He's so sweet. Like not bad things, just like oh honey things.
But he's really naive.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Shin is the person who gives him advice cracks me up.
I think that's a fantastic dynamic.
Right? I love it. I'm not saying I don't love it. I'm saying
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
true. It's also very sad though too if you just think about it like oh my God, this kid is younger than you and he's so
Well, they have
there.
such drastically different lives, though.
You, you don't say.
Drastic, I cannot emphasize how different their lives are.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, yeah, their lives are so different. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Nobu grew up wanting to be wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing. That's a similarity between Nobu and Hachi. Is
Yeah.
both of their parents wanted them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Shin's parents,
Mm.
no,
No. Mm-mm.
no. Well, I mean his mother, but like no.
Yeah, but we don't get her perspective though, do we?
We
Not
don't get her
really.
perspective. We get the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I started. I mean, yeah, I needed to make better bios, even though my bios aren't like at length. I'll fill them out
Mm-hmm.
as we go more.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just seeing a lot of like, I don't know, I feel like some of the bios were written like, so some of the bio content were written like early on. And then some of them were edited around 2015, 2016, and then some of them were recently edited. And I feel like a lot of it socially of this story is that we can't, it's the same thing with like projecting backwards onto history. I feel like people are trying to project what is within PC culture now
Uh-huh.
um, into the story.
In what ways are you noticing that?
Well, the social dynamics, right?
Between which all the characters? Some
All
of
the
the
characters,
characters?
the interactions, right?
Hmm.
And like I'm not seeing it everywhere, but you know, um, I am seeing it like within various blogs and stuff, just talking about like different characters or racial differences or X, Y, and Z, which has only really become like more prolific recently within anime and manga.
Yeah.
Um, with the new generation, which is totally fine. Like
Hmm.
awesome, get at it. You know what I mean? But at the
Yeah.
same time, like 20 years ago is a very different world.
Yeah. That's why I get frustrated with people sometimes. I'm like, that's not the
We
you
lived in a
weren't
different
there.
world,
We
right?
did. It's like, well, you weren't there, man. It's
Right. It was
different.
way different. And it's interesting though because I'm seeing this reflection in a lot of places and like it's actually a really big theme in my life right now.
Mm.
It's like I know astrologically why, but like I'm even seeing it trending on YouTube. This other thing I can't talk about, like
Mm-hmm.
so many different aspects are now showing me that theme of how different the world was, like in the aughts and then the early tens
Yeah.
socially, right? And
Mm-hmm.
how it's being talked about differently now. And that things that were acceptable then, even within dating culture, um, would never be now.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't mean it was right then. It's just it was socially accepted.
Yeah. I mean, I even think that with like the podcast I'm listening to right now, where they're talking about like essentially the breaking down of the Hays Code and uh, how the 80s was trying to slide sex into films.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, trying to do like that thing. Unfortunately, like they started it out with minors. And, you know, when you think about that, like just listening to it, you're like, and the fact that no one was like ringing in to complain about like a 14-year-old being like naked on screen. I'm like,
Oh
that would
yeah.
never, would
Right.
never, like now people would be like outraged. They'd be like, excuse you.
Absolutely. Like right now, I've been because like the emo thing is trending now. It
Oh
has
no,
been
not
for a couple
again.
years. Well, it has been for a couple of years. It hasn't really stopped, right?
I'm not
Um,
ready. I have lived
I
through
know, I
trauma.
know. Well, like the thing is like I started paying attention because I started seeing that a lot of the bands that I listened to, we
Yeah.
did not consider emo, but now are being classified under that umbrella. Um, because
That
they influenced what came later. And I don't mean with like in screamo and stuff. I mean pre that. I mean like 90s, right?
Yeah, you'd have to give me a band because I know some of the people that you listen to, but I'm just like anything you listen to be considered emo? That would be
Right.
weird.
And we're talking like post-hardcore. They're saying that like
Right.
post-hardcore or post-punk is now considered emo or that shoegaze and I can get on board a little bit more with shoegaze. But like the new wave of definition to it is emotional rock music of any kind. And so I was like, I need to understand this. I'm not understanding. Right? Because
I
like
think people have too much time on their hands.
well, and I understand like having to reclassify things for historical reasons and influence and all of that stuff. But like I've even heard people mention and like there's like the goth aspect to that too of like the 80s and then going into the 90s.
Hmm.
Within that subculture and what is now being deemed like within like an emo classification, which is fine. I'm not opposed to it, right?
I
Because
mean,
like there was a
yeah,
big difference between scene and emo. But a
yeah.
lot of people who weren't like I was working in music during that time, so a lot of people who weren't working in music during that time really didn't know that difference. Their reference was like Hot Topic, not like, grungy like venues that didn't have a bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, at least back at that time, Hot Topic sold music, and that was great.
Yeah. I guess. I never bought music there. I don't know. Yeah. But that was just me. But
That's
like,
where I bought Collide. That was my first Collide CD.
oh. But
So
then
you
like
know.
the scene, like, um, I guess subculture, that didn't start happening till after I wasn't working in music anymore.
Hmm. What year?
Um, about the time Finn was born, a little bit after. So the late aughts,
Too late. Oh, okay. So like 2000, like seven,
six,
maybe
seven, eight,
six,
nine
seven.
in there, even though I was still
Yeah.
going to shows, right? But I wasn't I didn't have to work bands. Like I was around music that I wouldn't have listened to, right? Or that I didn't
Yeah.
listen to a lot more when I was doing promotion.
Yeah.
So like, by the time that wave and those kids got old enough to get into venues, I wasn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like we already saw like the essay culture probably give a trigger warning, but we already saw like the essay culture of like rock stardom, right? And then that
Mm-hmm.
carrying through. And so like that was pretty prolific. So now I'm seeing all these documentaries and people talking about these things and talking about various bands that were predators. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was like really prolific, right? And they're talking about how
Yeah.
like today, like it's not gonna happen. That's why it's getting called out today.
Yeah.
But I also find it really curious because a lot of these people weren't actually there who are talking about it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Or
that's
I'll
what I was
listen
like,
to
"Wait a minute."
victims who are like 12, 13 years old, right? And it's not okay. I'm
Mhm.
not at all like defending predators in this statement or any of this conversation. It's absolutely grotesque, even for the time period,
Yeah,
right?
like like, hello.
Um, even for the time period, like it's yucky, right? But we also saw
So
in
yuck.
Hollywood during that same time, men who are 10 years older dating like 16-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean by it being more socially acceptable,
Mhm.
right? Is because like mainstream media was accepting of it.
Yeah. I don't know if I really do wonder when the this is a no-no at this point, like really, I guess it is until recently because even in the podcast I'm listening to, people are like, it's like, oh, she's dating this man that's like 10 years older than her and he was like, like macking on her when she was like 16 and I'm just like, gross. You
Yeah,
know? But that was like back in the like 70s, early 80s and I'm just
right.
like still gross.
Yeah, it's
So,
still gross, but I think the perspective is different.
yeah.
Because you like also, we live in a culture and society, and it's not just here, where, young girls would be married off to older men because they could provide for them,
Yeah.
right? So like that's you like this is perpetuated through patriarchy historically.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so like it takes a long time for those types of social shifts to happen. And they do happen faster now because we have the technology, like we have social media. You know what I mean? Like we create our own media now. So they
Mhm.
do happen faster
Yeah.
than they ever have, right? So we see that transition within our lifetime rather than watching the transitions through lifetimes.
Yeah. I kind of figured that people that were talking about like the music aspect of it is like it's like, but were you even alive when this thing was
Right.
going
Well,
on?
that's like, but see, those kids now are in their like 20s. Well, see, like I'm talking about like victims who are actually at the shows, who were actually groomed,
Oh, yeah, no, no. I'm talking about
right?
separate issue, separate issue, separate issue.
And like I always found it really interesting though too. Like I like a lot of these bands that are being brought up, like I never worked promotion for.
Hmm.
They were on my radar, but like they also just like weren't a thing because like this is also when like scene stuff like really started popping off on MySpace right before like MySpace was gone.
I
Um
remember.
I remember, but like I wasn't actually
Yeah,
a part of that, right? Because like that wasn't my thing.
yeah. I just,
Um but I'm seeing it as like a bigger trend now because these kids are adults now.
yeah.
Right? And I really appreciate the social moves that they're making and bringing awareness to these things because it wouldn't fly today. And it wouldn't fly today though because like these kids like whereas, even my generation like you didn't feel you could talk about it. You were still told boys will be boys. Really persevered and pushed through that.
Yeah,
And that's painful.
yeah. I don't know. I guess if we're like talking in terms of like that and bands and all the privilege stuff, I was raised with a father who was in the music industry for many, many years. So you kind of always knew that stuff was going on with the people in the band and like the fans and stuff and just like not
Well, like
engage
that's the thing
that.
though, is because and like the bands that I met who would be on tours with some of these other bands, right?
Hmm.
But like straight up cool ass guys. Never hit on anybody, had girlfriends at home. You know what I mean? Like we're like
Yeah.
legit dudes. And so it's like I hear these stories and then I hear these umbrellas, right?
Mm. Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
I
like, but
see.
wait a second.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like the lived experience, and maybe it's because I wasn't a 16-year-old girl, but I was a 19-year-old and 18. You know what I mean? Like maybe,
Yeah.
but it's like, wait a second. No, because I started working in music really young. So like,
Hmm.
reel it in. And I was adorable. So like, fuck off. But, um,
Yay.
but like watching these things like come through a resurgence. And I know like, oh, this just went on a huge ass tangent, but it is relative to Nana, right? And it is relative, like not specifically like we're not even at the essay part yet, but like
Mhm.
Um, it is relative within, like, there are social things that are happening that we can't create inequity to the story
Mm,
by projecting what is socially acceptable today back onto this. And also there are cultural differences. And
mhm,
so within like reading all of these different fandoms, which I haven't read in probably a decade, so they're very different now.
mhm,
I'm just like, wait a second. Like this is projecting like today.
mhm.
Like these are opinions that you would have today, which is perfectly acceptable and fine. But I think that also the framework of the story and something that's really important to remember when reading it is that it encapsulates, it's like a time capsule, and it pushed so many envelopes in shoujo manga that nobody wanted to talk about for the first time ever,
Mhm.
right? Like we
Yeah.
didn't even have the term soft boy, but we knew that
Until
but we knew that
now,
Nobu was
though.
sweet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah. I guess that's the hard thing. Well, maybe that's the difficult thing about things just being trends. Everyone wants to say something. Everyone wants to call, I don't know. Have the moment in the
everybody
spotlight.
deserves their opinion, and they deserve their agency in their opinion, and it is valid. Is very, very valid, and I think that that's super important to remember. But within that validity, different opinions also are valid.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. It's just like, yeah, you can have the things, but what if someone like, yourself was just like, well, that's cool, yes, but also these other things as well, like, are you going to get shut down? Are you going to be
Right.
like, so I'm just like, hmm, are we going to have a cool conversation, or is this just you want to
Right. Are
weigh
we
in?
actually going to have a conversation, or are you going to get angry?
And see it probably angry.
Right. So, like, I think, but I don't, everybody needs Nana. That's
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
I also, I wanted to mention, I want to do a bonus episode for Yazawa's birthday in March.
Oh, okay.
It's on the 7th.
Birthday.
I figured we can like early record it and then post it on the 7th for her birthday. I
Okay.
found a bunch of really cool interviews, specifically where she talks about Nana, and I found a lot of like fun, quirky facts about her that aren't like the mundane or usual. And I'm rectifying her chart right now.
Oh, yay. Yay.
Yeah, so we can try to actually get like, I don't think that the chart that was rectified is incorrect. Um, I
You just
think that
didn't do it.
I didn't do it. And well, but
Let's be
also
honest.
they don't have listed who did it
Mm,
on Astro Dentist. And so like that's really important to know is who did it.
true.
Because if you don't know who did it, then you don't know their qualifications for doing it.
That's true.
And that does matter. So it's not that I
Yeah.
think that it's wrong. I do think that it's general.
Hmm.
And she's had a lot of like we know a lot, maybe not details about her life, but we do know a lot of details about her life to where I think that it's very possible to get a pretty accurate rising sign.
Cool.
I know. I know.
All right then.
Okay.
Do we need to do the intro then?
That was the show before the show.
Yes. No, it's the show before the show, exactly. Uh, Hello, and welcome to Nanapod, a podcast dedicated to the fantastic manga written by A. Yazawa. I'm Crystal,
Kirsten.
and we are here to dissect this manga, discussing everything from the emotions, the cultural impact, as well as any headcanons that might be floating around in our brains. With this podcast, we hope to preserve a shoujo staple that sadly hasn't been talked about in a very long time. We are here in apartment 707, and I believe, what are we on? Chapter 7?
We're on chapter 7 in apartment
Yeah.
707.
Yes.
Um,
Sure, Hachi would have something to say about that.
I know, right? The Demon Lord. It's volume 3, by the way.
Yes.
And this is the third chapter in volume 3.
Yes. So, um, let's see. We springboarded from last time where um there was money. There was money just
There was
in her
money just in
account.
her account. And because she was broke,
She was,
because she
because
got
she
fired and she spent
got
all of her
fired.
money before she even got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Yasu.
Yeah. And yeah, and
And
Yasu showed up.
Yasu.
And
And
Yasu.
Yasu. Dun, dun, dun.
Yay.
Yeah, so when we go into this chapter, we go straight into Hachi talking to her mother about the
Mm-hmm.
money in her account and learning that it was a wedding gift.
Yeah. She's like, what a dowry.
Um, and so her mom is like explaining that weddings are very expensive, so she started putting money aside. Like just totally skipped over the question
Yeah.
of like a wedding gift question mark, like what the actual heck all. Um and
Yes.
like Haji is confused, like, why are you giving me money? And
Mm-hmm.
her mom's like, because you did a love fugue. I don't know if yours says love fugue, but it
It
cracks me up.
does. It doesn't, but I wish it did. It just says eloped.
Oh yeah, no, mine says because you did a love fugue, right?
I want mine to say love fugue. That is so funny.
Right? I was like, oh, that's one way to put it.
Oh my god, especially if you think about like what fugue means. It's like so
Yeah,
you
exactly.
temporarily are like and then you just do and don't think about it.
Right? So good though. Oh man, I laughed so hard. I was like, yep, yep. Thank you, fan translations. Making my life a little brighter.
Oh, it's good.
So Hachi is like, she screams, "What?" And
Mm-hmm.
the cells pan back to Hachi's mom, and her sister Nami comes home. So we get introduced to Nami.
Oh yeah. Hope you guys are ready for
Oh my
Nami.
goodness, Nami is like, I don't. Nami is just, she's such like a. I guess if like there was like, I mean, this. I think that this is like kind of like the Japanese version of Scene.
Oh, really? Because in my head, I'm like, I was friends with a girl like her. She was she was preppy. She reminds me of like
She's
the,
not preppy.
she feels so preppy to me.
Because she, what was that fashion style called?
Uh, Gringaro?
Hold on.
Is that
Let
what it
me
was?
something like that. But yeah, that's like its own um subculture.
Mm-hmm.
They are not considered preppy.
Translation, at least from like my head to like, I guess it would be Western. I was just like, this looks familiar. Girls like this
Well,
love the movie Legally
I
Blonde.
actually looked into it a bit. It's not. And I actually looked into it a bit more, and there is like folk association.
Oh,
Like
that's
like
interesting.
horror story association to it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What? You would
Yeah,
not
because I
know
was
that.
like, I need to know more about this because, as I said in the Vivian Westwood episode, I don't really dig into like fashion, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she's the only one, and it's so, I don't know. Whenever I see her, I just get taken aback because I'm just like, what's going on? Right? And it's not to like be insulting or anything, but, you know, it's because I've also seen it in like Fruits magazine and like the art books and like things like that. You know what I mean? So it's not like I hadn't been exposed to it before, but it always catches me off guard because the makeup itself is contrasting,
Right.
right? Because like super super tan, blonde, right?
Mm-hmm.
But white makeup.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's where I'm just like, huh, okay.
Right.
And it's Genguro, Ganguro.
Well, so close.
Genguro. Um, But yeah, it says that it has a connection to Japanese folklore of ghosts and demons who are depicted with a similar appearance, such as those in kabuki and no costumes. The connection is further underlined by the offshoot style uh, Yamamba,
Hmm.
Yamamba, um, named after a mountain witch in Japanese folklore.
Oh, her. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I know who
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
is.
yeah.
Okay,
So
that's kind of
yeah,
cool.
and it took off in the mid '90s and reached its peak in the latter half of the decade. Um, and it became obsolete by 2000. So she's like not in style.
Oh, well, maybe she just likes it. She's just like,
And
this is
then
not.
like it was the opposite of that. The hyper pale skin is what ended up being
Mm-hmm.
the popularized thing within like that subculture or group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like
Interesting.
it was like a 90s, like early 2000s thing. And like I can kind of see the similarities in fashion, in clothes specifically.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Yeah, because I'm just like, this is familiar, but it's interesting that the other stuff goes along with it
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
I
there's
think
depth to it.
yeah, that makes it better because I know people especially like now remember how you were just talking about like projecting like things out of the past. If people
Mhm.
were to just like look at her sister now, there would be feelings
Right,
about.
exactly. But I mean, like, if you, but see, here's the other part though, is if you look at images of real people,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think those feelings would be the same.
I'm gonna look at. Okay, I'm gonna just like Google do a Google myself here.
Yeah, do it. Like, this is why I
Oh,
said
okay.
I think that they were kind of seen,
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay,
like
I
club,
get
like
you.
raves.
Yeah, no, I see it. I see it now. Yeah, Nami's not giving that like in this particular manga, like to me she feels very like fetch, you know what I mean?
Oh
Um
yeah, no, as soon like I remember the first time I saw her and I was like, oh, that's what's up.
Okay. Yeah, no, yes, I see it. And yeah, that is very similar to Sane.
Right? Or like, club kids.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so like also though, like this was well 1999 year 2000, so this is kind of as it was ending, as it was going out.
Yeah.
But yeah, nope, this is yeah. Yeah. But now you see what I'm talking about.
I
I actually
do,
found
I do.
I actually found Sims CC content
Hmm.
of this style for Nami.
Oh, interesting.
Took forever. But it also reminds me of the one group, the one town in Sims Herbs that was
Hmm.
like this city. It was like a Tokyo themed city, and the
Yeah,
fashion was like this in that game also.
that's interesting.
Mhm.
You're like bright but slightly spooky. It's
Right. It's so weird. Not in a bad way.
no, no, not in a bad way. It's I guess they'd call it like creepy cute now.
I
It's
don't
like
think we would call it anything now because I just don't think it would happen.
no.
Well, because then we
Mm-mm,
go like if
mm-mm.
I keep scrolling down, then we go into like more of the fruits fashion, which is not the same. But
Right.
the tan skin, the white eye makeup, the light lipstick, some of like the glitter and flowers, so like bright contrast. So it's like the contrast I think is really the key there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's
But
interesting.
isn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, because Nami is home now, and Hachi's mom is asking her where she's been, and she's like, "I just been doing like karaoke and stuff," and she's like, "Oh, really? Can you at least call if you're going to be late?" When she comes, back on the phone with Nana, and she's like, "What were you talking about?" And Hachi's still asking, like, "Wait, why did you think I eloped, Mom?" And Nani just like snatches the phone out of her mother's hand. And she's like, "Hi, Nana, it's Nami. How's it
Wait,
going?"
mine says mom. What's a love fugue?
What's a love you? Oh, yeah. That's a good question, Mom. Explain. Love
Explain
you.
yourself. Like, what is this? What is this? But yeah, she just starts chatting her up, and she's like, "How is it going with your boyfriend?" And Nana's like, just like, what did Nami say? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like you are the one. You
yeah,
ratted me out.
she did, and she probably talked it up. Because she's like, I only told her you went to Tokyo to live with your boyfriend.
But like, didn't Nana leave a note on her door?
Yeah, but she didn't say. Remember? She's just like, I'm just going to Tokyo. And we talked about this like then, because like, I think that because she didn't give details, but I'm sure she never shut up about going
True.
to Tokyo to be with Shoji. We
True.
know enough about Nana to know that the whole universe knew,
That's true.
right? Like
Yeah.
the whole planet.
The whole
Everybody.
plan. Everybody
Everybody
knew.
knew.
That's true.
So like of course it's assumed, even if it's not. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and she
Yeah,
hasn't
no.
talked to them.
Nope.
She hasn't talked to her mother at all.
No, not in like a month. It's like the first time she's probably called her.
Wait, I have a timeline.
Yeah, because it's been a month. Remember, it's been a month. We had that
I
like
also
last
made a
time.
timeline.
Oh, good, because Yazawa time is,
Oh, well, on the cell phone, there's dates.
Mm.
Uh-huh. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but there's dates.
Oh yeah, I
So,
didn't think about that either. That's fair.
right? I'm just like, oh, jeez, come on, brain. So this is April 18th. So yeah, it's been 6 weeks almost, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Still, she didn't call her mom in that whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
she hadn't talked to her mother in 6 weeks.
yeah. So,
So, I mean, for some people like me, that's not a long time. But I guess for the average person who runs away from home, it might be.
yeah.
Maybe
I
not.
mean,
I guess, I don't know. That didn't come out right. That's not what I meant.
it's fine.
My brains are broken. My brains are not talking to each other anymore.
No, no, it's fine.
Uh, but she says
uh,
that she's lucky. So Nana yells, and Nami's like, "There's no need to hide it. You're lucky. You can have sex every day if you wanna."
yeah.
Like but in front of their mother.
Yep.
Like that's the thing there. That's the questionable thing that's going on.
And
I mean, and
Nana's very shocked.
Nami's totally the baby though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, bless her
Yeah.
heart. Um so Nana's like freaking out. She's not crying, but she's like freaking out.
She's like
And
embarrassed. She's so embarrassed.
right. And so
Oh my
like their
god.
mom is like, "What are you talking about?" And she yells at her and tells her to go take a bath.
Mm-hmm. And
And
Naomi's like, but like I was still talking. I took the phone away.
right, and then
I already
she's like,
took a
"I already
bath.
took a bath." Um, and then her mom kicked her. Oh man! And her mom's like mumbling. The young girls of today, in front of their parents, have sex. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, it's
so
so good.
like this part's like kind of I don't know is great because I don't. Okay, so my translation says hello, Nana. Anyway, your major. What does yours say? Because I don't know what your major means.
Mine says, well, anyway, you're an adult now. Use that money however you
Oh,
want.
maybe. Okay, maybe that's just the translation for adult is major, like in like a position. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, that's weird.
Right. But she tells her to use the money however she wants, but she can't come back home like at all.
Yep.
And Nami's talking about how she should have went to Tokyo University also, and she's a short-term student. So
So it's community college in mine. I'm like, yeah,
right.
that
I tried
tracks.
to do some research on like because I was working on the timeline, and
Mm-hmm.
I I think that the college that they went to back home was only a year, but I haven't found any like confirmation.
Probably assume it was a year.
Well, yeah, based on the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I'm just like, this is really weird. So maybe short-term student at a junior college is like 1 year long, and that's what Nami's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But her mom goes on to say, "Don't cause any more trouble for us. See ya," and then hangs up.
And now you can
Her
take a
mom
shot
is
because she's
pissed,
crying.
right? She's crying, but like her mom is mad.
Really?
She
You think
left
so?
with a note.
Oh, I never ever really read it that she was angry. She was just like, "You're an adult. It's fine. I have other things to do.
Right,
Bye."
exactly. If she wasn't mad, she'd be like, "How are you doing? Are you planning the wedding?" Like, you know what I mean? I think she's mad. I think she's butthurt.
Oh, interesting. I did not read that. I just read it as a mom who has, three daughters and she's just like, well, whatever. Do what you want to do.
Yeah,
That
that's not
necessarily
a normal, healthy thing.
I mean, I guess it
But she's
isn't.
mad. Her feelings are hurt,
True.
right?
Yeah, I guess I didn't, I never read it like that before. But now I guess she is angry. But also like Nana's reaction, not Hachi's reaction, but like Nana's reaction this
It's
next panel
hilarious.
is,
Right.
yeah,
No,
she's,
it's so good. It's so good. But I think it's because like her mom is mad.
mmm,
She hung up on her.
she did.
She didn't even say like, "K, love you, bye." She said, "See ya," click.
Yeah. Well, she says bye in mine, but it's like, well, okay, bye.
Oh yeah, no, mine is "see ya." It says, "Don't cause us any more trouble." See ya. Silence.
Oh, yeah, mine just says, I've got enough to deal with already. Okay, well, bye.
Um,
And then
but
it's just,
yeah, Nana is just laughing hysterically.
yeah,
But she's also drunk.
she's also very drunk.
Yeah.
She's so drunk.
So there's that part of it. Because you got to remember, so like they're celebrating
Mm-hmm. Because
because
Yasu's
Yassi's there.
here.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had like their dinner and then they drank. Um, and then Nana decided when everybody was like partying, maybe to call her mom.
I mean, I probably would have done that. Would have been like, yeah, like people are here.
Why
I'm just
not
gonna
call her on
take
her
a
way
moment.
to on your way to the store?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just my thought. I'm just like, why would you wait till like late at night? Like, what time is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, so what time?
It's
It's like
Yasu's
2 in the
time.
maybe it's like 2 in the morning. Maybe that's also why her mom's upset,
Maybe. I
right? And
don't.
her sister's stumbling in from karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke's a night. Seems like a
Uh,
night thing. Seems like a
yeah,
night thing.
exactly. It
But
is a night thing.
I
It's
say
totally a
that
night thing.
because we used to karaoke at night.
Yeah,
So,
but
you
like
know.
karaoke bars, there are karaoke bars in the city that are open like 24 hours.
Lucky. So
Um,
lucky.
yeah, well, like they're rooms you rent, like in the
Mm-hmm.
international district.
Oh, I know. There's
Yeah,
Roxy Boxy in Seattle's like that.
yeah, exactly. So who knows? I think, but it's dark out.
It's dark out, so
Dark out. So whatever. It's late.
it's late.
So Hachi's like, it's not funny. I thought she'd ask me to come back since she was worried.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, don't come back. Can someone say that? And what's more, I'm not married. I
Yeah.
think like it's also just like, I mean, it's pretty funny. She sent her money because she thought she was married.
I mean, a little bit. I was just like, oh, mom sent you. That's something a
Right.
caring parent does.
And
Yeah.
like, she left with a note with her little star eyes and hasn't talked to them in 6 weeks.
Nope.
Bye, I'm going to Tokyo. Not a word. Like, yeah, okay. Don't come home.
Yeah. You moved out. You moved out. That's
Right?
it.
You moved out without warning,
Yeah.
but also probably a lot of warning.
Yeah, because everybody knows.
The wrong kind of warning, allegedly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so Nana's like, well done, Natsuko. You're the best mom.
Mm-hmm.
And Hachi is like, are you drunk, Nana? You're laughing too much. And Nana's like, I'm not drunk.
She totally is though.
She's totally drunk. And then
She's
Yasu,
totally drunk.
Yasu walks in and he's like, I'm back. I brought you cigarettes, Nana. And Nana is like so happy. Like she's such a happy drunk right now.
Oh, I like in my translation he says, "Honeys, I'm home," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cute. That's
Oh
super
yeah,
cute."
no, mine just says I'm back. I brought you cigarettes, Nana. Which is no, but that's way more Yasu.
I don't know. I like the idea of him just being like, "Hey, ladies, I'm
He would
back," and I'm just like,
never.
"That's
He
cute."
would never. He doesn't have that kind of humor.
Sure.
Um, sure. He
Sure.
doesn't. He doesn't. No vulnerability from that one. All stoicism all day long. Um, so Nana jumps up and yells Yasu, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, you sure drank a lot." And Nana's like a little too excited to see him.
hmm
A, a little too excited.
She
Uh,
kisses him.
she
She
kisses
kisses
him.
him.
She kisses him and jumps into his arms.
hmm
So like it's like a kiss and then a leap.
hmm
And Hachi's face is just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
right? Because like let the stories build.
Right.
Jeez. Let the stories that aren't like in reality at all build. I mean,
Right.
because like their love is weird. Their love is weird and it's forlorn.
hmm
And so Nana's like, I love you.
hmm
And he's like, it's okay. I get it. Don't climb on me. That's not okay.
Too late. She's
Too
already
late.
there.
She's already there. And Nana's freaking out
hmm
and asks where Nobu and Shin are because I'm sure she like needs some relief from whatever is going on there.
hmm
Because it's a lot.
Just in her head, really. She's like,
Right? And so Yasu's like Nobu collapsed on the way and Shin brought him home.
that imagery is really funny where he's just
Right?
I'm just like he fell over and Shin had to like drag his ass home.
Right?
Oh.
Because Shin is so tiny. Well, I mean Nobu's like tiny too. Shin's gonna end up being taller than Nobu. But like
It's true.
just like yeah, that visual is great.
Yeah, he's just yeah. Then Yasu makes a comment about like Shin apparently Shin drank a lot because he's definitely not a lightweight. He's more like an alcoholic. And I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah, Shin drinks a lot. But I
hmm
also think it's because he's young. I know, like, I could drink a lot when I was young and not have it phase me. It's like as you get older, it hurts more.
I mean, that last part is true. I can't say that when I was younger, I've always been affected by booze. Like always, like even though I could put down like 3 rum and cokes no problem when I was like 17, I'd still be like I was like Nana happy drunk. I'm just like, I love you. Let me cuddle you. No, I don't care that you don't want me to touch you. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
have no boundaries.
we drank too much in high school when we drank. We did too much of everything in high school. Don't be like me. Um, Different times, I suppose.
I guess that now I'm not gonna
Yeah, I mean, I don't
speculate.
even know. Like, my kid is like solid, you know? So, like, I can't be
Yeah.
like, our kids like this? Because he's like, I don't know. And if they are, I don't care.
No, that's true. I mean, I've only heard stuff where kids are just like, we're just gonna like take a bunch of pills and lay on the floor. And I'm like, okay, that sounds safe.
At least
Sarcasm.
they're not driving.
I don't know. I guess. I guess.
I mean, we used to go drifting and take bong rips at the same time. So I would much prefer
Yeah.
them laying on the floor.
It's true. But I mean there's also like a, a lot of pot too, which is like it's fine, but I've always been that kid that was just like we shouldn't be doing this because you might get hurt and I care about you and I don't want you to
Mm,
get hurt and you're just laying there and
right.
someone's already walked on you like twice.
Oh,
Like let's get out of the floor,
right. Yeah. No, but they're
That's
in the floor. You don't understand. Like they've now sunken in, like they are one with the floor. Like
I
that's
know. I know, and that's why I'm just like, no. But so I'm like, I've always been like the mom at parties where I'm just like,
mm,
you've had too much. Like, like drink some water, please.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, most of the time, I was like the storyteller. I'm always the storyteller. Oh, it
I
doesn't matter.
know.
Even today. So like even then.
No, I know. That's like my favorite thing. I'm just like, this is my impression of Kirsten telling a story when she's drunk.
No, but like not just drunk, like the myriad of substances.
Oh, well, you know.
So like
Cheers.
obviously we just changed the vibe, right?
Hmm.
In what kind of storytelling? But people sit and listen. I don't understand why. But also in high school, like I was really nonverbal.
Mm. It's because I'm going to say the reason, well, you're fascinating when you tell stories. One, two, you have like the most like you have these hand gestures.
Gemini rising.
You're so I love when you get dismissive. That's my favorite gesture when you're like, "No."
No.
I'm just like, "Oh,
The
I'm ready.
hypocrisy.
I'm so ready."
Um,
It's my
but
favorite.
yeah, hand gestures are all a Gemini rising thing. So
Oh,
much.
really? Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, Nate's got one too, but it's very specific, and he's always holding a beer bottle when he does it. Like,
Well, I
it's
mean,
very
it
specific.
can be super specific like that though. That's the thing. It's never the same for everybody. It always articulates different because there's so many layers, right, to that explanation.
Yes.
I mean, like so many layers. But yeah. I also have Jupiter in the ninth, so
Mm.
that helps the storytelling aspects.
Oh, we love that
Um,
though. Love storytelling. That's like my favorite thing.
yeah, like I don't know, but yeah, I was pretty nonverbal in high school. Um,
S-
hence substances.
Yeah, that's like really, oh, Lauren. Lauren? Lauren.
Yeah.
Yes. She was like when she was like telling me one time when we were hanging out, like what you were like in high school, and I was like, really?
Hmm.
This is not syncing. This isn't matching
Right.
up.
No, I was super nonverbal. Um, yeah,
So we
but
could have like super hung out because I didn't talk a lot in high school
yeah,
either.
I was just like always self-medicated at that point because I was nonverbal and because it was uncomfortable. So like
Mm.
that helped me become more comfortable. Um,
Hmm.
because autism is not cool, friends. Stop trying to make it cool. Uh,
Yes. Oh my God. Please. Sorry.
please stop. Just
Uh,
it's not cool. It's not quirky. Um, at
sorry.
least like the manic pixie dream girl thing is over because living through that and being called that regularly was not lovely.
Yeah, but like autistic dream girl sounds worse. So
Right. Well, I mean, but it wasn't as openly candid to say that you were autistic. Like,
yeah.
I was even told by my last therapist because, like, I have an unofficial diagnosis. I had my diagnoses removed because they were incorrect. And
Mm.
at that point, like, my therapist even said, like, if we go through this process, it will be more traumatic for you and
Yeah.
you won't be able to live a normal life.
Yeah.
Like now it's again one of those things that is so much more accepting,
Hmm.
right? And it's interesting how many people are late diagnosed, especially like AFAB individuals, and that is completely granted. If I hadn't have had like the childhood that I had had, I wouldn't have started therapy at 3 for speech. So it's those variable differences, but like it's also interesting like hearing these conversations because it's not a privilege, but there is also a privilege that like in receiving a late diagnosis, yes, it's traumatic. I'm not like devaluing your trauma from not receiving the proper care, but it means that you could go under the radar,
Hmm.
right? So it's a both and it's a multiple truths to that story, but
Hmm.
it's not cool. Like,
No.
it's not fun, it's not quirky. I love my brain. I wouldn't change my brain for anything in all of the verses everywhere. My brain is so cool and my brain is so fun, but what comes with that is not.
Yeah, I think because I don't have my own diagnosis, but I do know that I am neuro. divergent. I don't think I would change my brain either. The only thing I wish I could change was like when I say things and people don't like get it or they
Mm-hmm.
misinterpret me, it's
Mm-hmm.
so frustrating. I'm just like, it just, why can't I just say what the thing that I just said and you
Right.
know what I'm talking about and I don't have to like and I
Yeah.
don't have to
Why
walk
do
it
I have
back.
to over explain myself when I was exceptionally clear, but uh, you don't talk in any clarity?
Right. You're
Like,
talking nonsense. It's not
sorry,
me.
sorry I explained that to, like, in my case, sorry I explained that too dryly for you. I'm not mad, right?
No.
Like, that's so much of it is
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm just not masking.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I understand that. Probably not the full extent of that frustration, but when you have to say things to people like, "Hey, so can we like talk? I have to like do this," instead of being like, "Hey, can we talk?" Because then people are like, "What? What's wrong? What
Yeah,
happened?" I'm like, "Oh my God."
it automatically, and then like also having to break those social patterns when you already didn't understand it and you had to train yourself and you had to learn, oh, that's what that means. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's essentially what masking is training yourself to reiterate social cues. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
terrible at social cues though. Like I'm terrible at them.
Oh.
I'm sure I'm sure I'm very literal.
Oh, see, I don't. Uh, I just the way you are like doesn't phase me, so I
Right.
don't
Exactly. Right.
notice.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
notice nothing. I'm just like, uh-huh, yeah, and then everyone else is like, don't you? And I'm like, what? And they're like, she's kind of mean. I'm like, that was me. Oh, I guess she kind of used what we consider a harsh tone in your world.
Right,
Um,
exactly. Sorry I didn't use my like sweet high-pitched voice for you. Um it's exhausting, okay? Like I can only do it for so long before I'm like, and
oh.
I'm done. Like you either get the topic or you get the tone. You can't have both all the time.
That's why Nate's like, but I've heard like her like happy voice. I like her happy voice. I'm like, yeah, but she doesn't have to like push like pretend when we're around too.
Right.
So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's called ABA therapy, kids. Um so the little girl voices. Um and I learned
mm-hmm.
at a really young age that I I didn't get in trouble as much if I used a little girl voice.
Oh yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah,
and that's a whole, like, yes, that's an autism talk thing, but that is also like a whole nother can of worms as well.
it is.
Um, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all right though. That was a fun tangent.
it was. So Nana's fainting.
Nana didn't, no, she didn't faint. She passed
She passed
out.
out.
She
Yeah.
passed out. She fell asleep. And Nobu's like, or Nobu, Yasu was like, don't fall asleep. And she's gone.
She's gone.
And the next panel, the next panel, Hachi's face. Hachi's face is just like, oh,
Oh.
oh, yeah, yeah. We have the blushing. We have like the big nervous drip.
Mm-hmm. The sweat drop.
The sweat drop, like, oh, and she's like covering her mouth. Like, what's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen? And it's like, Yasu's a gentleman. Get your head out of the
Mm-hmm.
gutter. Yasu is a gentleman. Well,
And
see, okay, so like that last part, mine says, finally, are those two seeing each other?
mm, mm.
Mm-hmm. And then she glances over and she's like, there's a big gulp as Yasu walks
Oh.
out of the bedroom.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. But in mine, I don't know if she says this in yours, but she's like, I wonder why they left the door open. And I'm like, what, gee? I mean, yeah, like get your head out of the gutter, but like she's passed out. Like, no, Yasu should not
Right?
do
Yasu's a gentleman.
anything.
Yasu's a gentleman, right? And like
He's
that kind of assumption, I mean, it goes back to like earlier, right?
mm-hmm.
Because like that was I don't know, it was socially different, I
It
guess,
was.
maybe. It still wasn't okay. It doesn't make it okay.
No, no, it's not
Um,
okay. I don't.
and yeah,
Mm-mm.
Yasu's the best. Mine says the door stayed open. What are they doing?
They're not doing anything, Hachi, because she's
Nothing.
passed out. Don't be
Yasu put her
weird.
to bed because he's a nice man,
He's good.
right? And so then he just walks up and um and is like, "Sorry, Nana, we left you to clean up all by yourself. I'll help you." And she's like, "That's all right. All this left is doing to do is rinsing."
Hmm.
And he's like, "Well, then give me a rag. I'll help." And so he like starts drying. It just funny though. He just like starts drying dishes, and there's like little stars around him, and there's a little shine on his head.
He's cleaning. His head is
He's
shining. He's
Mr.
cleaning.
Clean.
Yeah. Oh, and now Hachi's in her head thinking about Yasu.
Right? Well, I mean, how could she not?
No, that's true. Like I get, but remember she has crushes on everybody, but
Everyone, but she also needs like fantasy worlds for everyone. And she's like, Yasu's a good guy. Opposite
Mhm.
to appearances, he's kind of caring.
Oh, he's kind of caring. Wow.
He's someone you can count on, but he is humble and he's a lawyer. I'd like to marry a guy like him. And then
Mhm.
she's like, but what am I thinking? Yasu is Nana's. Or rather, I've got Shoji. And like, that's the last thing in that whole like thought process is Shoji. And I'm just like, oh, poor Shoji.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
She's
until
like,
the end of the chapter. And then
mm-hmm.
I'm mad at him. Anyway. Um,
I'm complicated at him, but we'll get
I'm
there.
complicated at him also. It is it's complicated.
It
Complicated.
is.
Um, and so he's like, "Oh, you're done. Thank you. I have to go.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot for dinner." And he's just like, "Boop."
Yeah, goodbye.
And she's like, "Where are you going?" And essentially, like, she says, "You could stay here."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "I'm gonna live in a hotel." And Shinanobu's is too tight. Like, there's too many people.
It is too many people.
And Um, and he's like, "Oh, thanks, but I can't let myself do that." And she's like, "You can let yourself, you know.
Mhm. Did she say
Nobu has
that?
stayed here."
Oh, she's saying that to him out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she said that out loud, and he's like, "Yeah, but it's out of the question. Good night."
Yeah.
And so now she's like nervous,
She's like, why not?
right? I
Oh,
feel like
she's
it's
in her
almost like a look
room.
of panic with the one
Yeah.
eyeball.
Yeah, I can't figure out like why though. I'm just like, why are you freaking out, man? Like,
Because in her fantasy, Yasu
mhm.
and Nana are dating now.
Right, right. So she's just like in her bedroom reading, and she's like, something weird is going on. Like Nana's
Oh,
drunk, but she was being honest. Why is Yasu so stoic? Maybe he's got a lady back home. Oh, she's reading the wanted ads. That's what she's reading.
yeah. Mine says he didn't convince me.
Oh,
Nana's become
wow.
so soft. And it's not only an effective alcohol. Why does Yasu stay so stoic? Does he have a girlfriend? And since he played in a band, he probably had lots of success. Oh well, even if he had a girlfriend. Since he left her to come to Tokyo alone, it must be that she isn't that important to him. So, like, now Yasu has an imaginary girlfriend back home. We've got full spectrum.
We have, and it's just like, oh no. I mean, this doesn't happen, but like, what if she accidentally made another person for Yasu?
Right? I mean,
Don't think too hard, Hachi.
oh,
You'll
right? Don't summon the demon lord.
right.
Yasu can handle it himself.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't need the Demon Lord's help. Don't
He
worry.
doesn't need the demon lord. So then she's like laying in bed, then she opens her eyes and she's like, "But I've been abandoned by Shoji too." And then panic. And now she's stuck in her head, like I assume like anxiety, right?
Yeah, that's really interesting because in mine she's like, "Hey, wait, did Shoji leave me behind?" Your translation is like, "Dude, but you haven't hung out with Shoji. You like who? Okay, like you've done the abandoning. Like, hmm.
No, but like I mean, no, it's in reference to he left to go to Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I
Right?
kind of figured
And she didn't say Yasu's ex-girlfriend.
out.
She said girlfriend.
Oh, interesting.
So relevance, right?
Right.
It's similar if Yasu had a girlfriend that he left back home,
Mhm.
that's what Shoji did. He left his girlfriend
Yeah.
back home to go do a thing for his future,
Yeah.
right?
Except he didn't. Yeah, he didn't.
Right. But she says, but for Joji, it's different because he's always taken care of me. And he asked me to come here. But no,
Mhm.
I'm the one who came to be with him.
Yeah.
And then in her head, it's playing, you did a love fugue, didn't you? Please don't come back here.
She's, Mom, it's not true. I moved here on my own and take a shot because she's crying.
She crying. She's ugly crying, but not like screaming ugly crying, but like devastated ugly crying.
Yeah,
And then
freaked out cry.
it's the flashback to Shoji asking, "Let's move in together, Nana."
Mhm.
Right? And she's just like, it's I can't describe the feeling that she's feeling, but I know I've had that feeling of like weird regret.
Mhm.
I feel like that's what that face is. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah. There I thought that there
It's
was a thought.
ridiculous.
Yeah, the thought seemed to like to stop her up though. She's just
Hmm.
like, it's all right. Shoji said that. I'm like, yeah, he said that 6 weeks ago.
Right. He said this 6 weeks ago. And you've
Like,
seen him like
dude,
twice.
yeah, things have progressed. You don't know though. You
Right.
don't know.
Right. She's still in her like La La Land.
Mhm.
And so she's like, it's okay. Shoji told me that, and then when I'll feel ready, he'll agree to marry, or he'll agree to us marrying. And then she's like, phew, the CD case is intact.
Yeah, because she was
Oh, because
listening
she
at
was
Scrapcast.
squeezing. No, she was squeezing it when she was having her panic attack.
Oh, I thought it was because earlier when she like jumped up, the CD case like fell on
That
the
too.
ground.
That too. All of it.
All of it. She thought
All of
she
it.
broke it, but she didn't. It's okay. Remember CDs, kids? No, you don't. You don't.
Yes, they do. I don't know. My aunt's first CD player in the 90s. It was massive.
Mm, yes.
Massive. Massive. And I listened to Tragic Kingdom on repeat. It was like third grade. Um,
Nice.
and Selena. I listened to a lot of Selena.
Not Gomez, I assume.
No, like Selena.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just gotta clarify that. Just gotta
yeah, like
clarify
Selena. It was the 90s.
that. Yes.
um, yeah, when you have a mixed household, like those things, they're pretty prolific. But
Mm,
so let's see. She goes on to say, not so sure. I'm under the impression that living together and marrying each other, it's not the same thing. No kidding.
yeah. Yeah.
Like that just clicked. Really?
See, in mine, she was like, so is living together the same as being married? And I'm like, kind of. It can be. Depends. Depends on, factors.
Not like lots of them.
Yeah. But you
It's just like
wouldn't.
it's the contractual difference,
Yeah.
right? And that you're contractually bound to being with someone. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as soon as a contract is involved, it changes how like the choice works.
Mm. Intriguing.
Mhm.
Mm.
Astrologically as well.
Ooh.
Well, like, yeah, because like relationships themselves are fifth house stuff, whereas contractual partnerships are seventh house stuff.
Mm. I'm gonna go look at my fifth and seventh house now.
And then she goes on to think because she's thinking to herself. She's not.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have said earlier, but she's thinking to herself. Shoji just entered university and will finish his studies in 4 years. That's long. What's more, he doesn't have enough money to be able to marry me. A
Mm-hmm.
wedding is an important event, and it is very expensive. As she's like summoning her mother,
Mm-hmm.
her mother's saying that, and then she goes on. She wants 3 wedding dresses, and
Yes.
she wants to live in a pavilion with a garden, or at
Mm-hmm.
least a new apartment.
Yes.
And so she's like, I've got to save up. See, I'm really proud of her at this moment. Like this moment here, I'm actually really proud of her
Yeah.
for being like, Shoji's like doing a thing for the future. I can do a thing for right now.
True. And she's also like mentally kind of mapping out like what she wants, what
What
she
she
has
wants, and
done.
so like she can make it happen,
Yeah, like do it. Get the things,
right?
get those wanted ads.
But this is also where she gets herself in trouble because she's like, I can't use the 300,000 yen that my mom gave me. I have to save them. She ends up putting it like in an account that she can't touch.
See, I think that that's good though.
I think
That's
that she should have taken some out
I mean,
to live on,
yeah. Yeah, she should have done
or
like
like a
that.
bumper, like not locked it all up. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. Yeah,
Because
she
it's only
probably
$3,000, but that's like what, 8 months rent for her?
something like that.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, taking out like 2 months worth of rent and bills and just having that so she could still access it. Maybe not like in a spending position, but like
Yeah,
she makes it so it's inaccessible and it bites her in the ass later.
true, but I think that for Hachi,
I know
she
she would just blow it.
needs yeah, she needs that.
Yeah.
She needs that like rigorous nah.
Right.
So, but yeah,
And
maybe
yeah.
more than $20. Maybe you could have taken a little bit.
Maybe, like I'm just saying like even like a month bumper that she could
Yeah,
access in case of emergency. Like,
true.
right? Um,
That's why I have multiple savings accounts.
well
So,
there you go. Um, so she says, I have to increase the amount of my savings. If I do my best, I should have enough money when Shoji finishes his studies. See, I like this mentality
mhm.
because, like, she's still including Shoji, which is great,
Mhm.
but she's not relying on him for her dreams,
True.
even though he's still included in her dreams.
True. It's too bad she didn't, you know.
Talk to
But
him,
yeah.
hang out with him, date him,
Yeah. Yeah.
spend time,
Mhm.
anytime. But
Anytime.
she's like, count on me for the pavilion with a garden, Shoji.
What does it say in your little like ribbon? Mine says out of control.
Mine says leaves at full speed.
Fair.
Um, and so now it's the next morning. We don't know if she slept, by the way, because like she just started
Hmm.
looking at job offers. So we don't know if she slept.
I don't think she slept. I
Nana
don't
wakes
think
up
so.
with a killer hangover headache,
Mm-hmm.
and she agreed to work. So she's like yelling for Hachi to give her medicine.
Yep.
Um, and then she's like, "You're not here, Hachiko." And then Hachi is like dressed in fancy business lady like costume.
Mm-hmm. She's got like this is like a business suit. It's
Yeah,
cute.
she's adorable. Like she's adorable. And so she's like, "Oh, good morning, Nana." And Nana looks like a fucking wreck. She looks like she was hit by a train.
She
Uh,
does.
and she's like, "What is this outfit?" And Hachi's like, "I have a job interview today.
Mm-hmm.
When I phoned, they told me to come in right away. So how do I look?" Like, I don't think she slept though.
No, I don't think so. I think she just called until someone was open to answer her phone call.
Right? She probably just made like a neurotic list and then started getting ready at like 4 in the morning
Yeah.
and waited till places opened and then just started calling.
Yep. It's like the third one that I called. They said that I should
Right.
come in.
Oh man, and Nana just looks beat. Like,
Mm-hmm.
granted though, like I wonder if she remembers kissing Yasu. Um,
Mm. If
which
she does,
obviously it didn't mean anything, which means that she's done it before. Like,
true. But even
you
if
know,
like
he
she
wasn't
did,
phased.
no, he
Right.
wasn't. But I mean, like, I think all thoughts of any kissing Yasu would be put out of her head by the fact that Hachi's in this outfit. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Right. Like, because, like, I don't, yeah. Yeah. I mean, because, like, Nana also doesn't know if, I don't know, Hachi was in the same position. She's
Yeah.
probably thinking that she should also be hungover, right?
Yeah. True.
Um, and so Nana's like, a job interview where? And Hachi's like, at an editing company.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And she's like, and her head hurts. It
Yeah,
hurts her head.
she screams what so loud that she's like, "Oh, I hurt myself." I scream so loud.
And Hachi's like, are you okay? You got a hangover? I got something great for that. And I think that her head hurts because she's trying to think about Hachi working at an editing company.
I mean that too.
I mean,
Both.
I think like the outfit, the interview, I think that's what's hurting Nana's head
Mm-hmm.
with the hangover. Like it's yeah. Um because she's like at an editing company, but you can work in such a place,
Yeah, you specifically.
right? And Hachi's like, well, anyway, I fill in criteria for the job. They aren't looking
Mm-hmm.
for someone for the editing, but for small errands. And it's a little editing company. No one's heard of it. It should be all right. And and Nana's like, "Oh, really? I hope they won't go bankrupt right away."
Right.
I mean, that's her luck. Like,
True.
but she didn't ask the demon lord for this job.
Nope,
So,
she did not.
there's no offerings that need to be made.
Right.
Oh, bad luck is actually just because she's not actually like exchanging offerings with the demon lord for the things that he does for her.
Right. I gave you a thing. Where's my incense stick or
Right?
whatever you need, whatever I need. I don't know.
Water
What
and oranges, bring it.
Yeah, like what would he want? Yes. Everyone should
Booze.
tell us. Booze, yes.
Um, oh man. So she like
Oh.
hands her some like medicines, probably like aspirin. Um,
Mhm.
and I'll bring you some water if you let me. And then Nana's like, she changed her clothes style and also the way of speaking.
Yeah, I wonder about that. I'm just like, so what is it? Like normal Hachi is just like, oh, good morning, Nana. And then, but like this one is like, oh, good morning, Nana. I wonder. I'm just like, what?
I actually
What's
like I really thought about it and it's if you look at like what she's saying, she's speaking more fully.
oh, like dropping
More
like
words.
more words, not using slang.
Well, Hachi doesn't really use slang, but like she's really like explaining herself. Like there's more words. And I also wonder if maybe in Japanese the language is more proper,
Probably.
right? And that she's just using more proper speaking.
Mm.
Cuz she didn't say like her voice. She says her way of speaking.
Oh, in mine she says her voice. So I took that to assume that
Oh, yeah.
she's putting on more of like a customer service sounding
Which is
voice.
possible. It could be both and,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, because yeah, my translation says her way of speaking. So like I assumed it was like she's speaking more properly than she normally would.
Yeah, that's probably
Like not
because they're
casually. Right.
yeah, she's not going, yeah, it's cool, man.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like because she's using a lot more words.
Yeah,
Like
that's
her bubbles
true.
got fuller.
True. That's very true. I'll
And
get you
so
some water.
Nana is asking why at an editing company all of a sudden.
Hmm.
And so Hachi explains like um essentially that it's good salary. She has the weekends off. Like it's a grown-up job, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that she'll be able to go downtown. Which, it's cool. I guess that's I don't know, it makes sense for her to have what she calls a successful woman in life job.
Yes.
Does that say that in yours? Successful woman in life.
No, no, it doesn't, but I think that's funny. No, she's just like, I just came across it in the want ads. The pay's good and the hours are good. Since I moved to Tokyo, I figured it'd be cool to actually work inside the city. And even though it's just secretarial, I'm hyped to be working for a publisher, like totally cosmopolitan.
Oh yeah, that is not the language that is used in mine at all.
Well, yeah, which I think is funny. Actually, she says totally cosmopolitan because Donna's just looking at her. She's like, totally cosmopolitan? Like, did
See,
you
that's
just
okay, so
say
that
that?
part is where it says successful woman life.
So,
Successful woman in life. And that's what Nana questions. A successful woman in life?
both of these things are questionable things to
Right. And she's like, anyway, I'm happy that you are motivated for your future job. thought those were merely words when you said you wanted to become independent.
Mhm. She thought she was just bullshitting.
Right. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
I
Hachi.
mean, it's Hachi. She like matured overnight.
Mm,
She matured in like 6 hours because she
she
wants a
did.
pavilion with a garden
She
and 3
did.
wedding dresses.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Well, she tries.
Start your timer
She
now.
does try, not
I
really, but
know.
she tries
Well,
for her own brains because she has a spicy brain.
she does.
And she's
Let her
like,
have this moment.
if I'm hired in such a company and that I work seriously, I'm bound to become independent. Kill two birds with
Hmm.
one stone. And
Yes.
now Nana's asking where Yasu is.
Hmm.
And then Hachi's like, she's like, I can hear her like whining this part in my head.
Hmm.
He told me he'd stay at a hotel until he finds a house to live.
Hmm.
Um,
I try to stop him, and in mine, Nana's like, whatever. And then Hachi's like, whatever?
oh, mine, she says, oh, all right.
Hachi's not
Um,
okay with it. She's like, she's
and
like, okay,
so
I'm out of
Hachi's
here.
like, I gotta go.
Yeah,
Goodbye forever.
I don't care. I don't care anymore.
Right.
I'm like, that's a lie. You totally care.
Yeah, for real. And then Nana tells her they're having practice tonight. Bless is having practice tonight, and Yasu will be there, so they'll actually have a drummer. And Hachi is like, I have nothing planned tonight.
Oh.
And so then there's this cute scene of them smiling at each other.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's gonna be great. She's like,
Because they're
oh
so
no.
sweet.
Yeah.
It's only been 6 weeks.
It's only been 6 weeks.
Oh, God.
But Nana's so happy. Well, Hachi's happy. She's just like, she's like, Nana seems psyched. It's so great to see her happy. So then they got the band members lined up. Now they just have to hit it. Oh, right. I gotta hit it too.
Oh, my God. Oh, I mean, it's kind of cringy.
Why?
Your translation.
Oh, why?
Mine says that Nana, what a radiant face. It made me look forward to it too. But now all the members are united. All that's left is to work hard to make this dream a reality.
That is better. Why?
And then she's like, well, I'll do my best too. She didn't say hit it.
Don't want to hit it? You don't want
Don't want to hit it. I don't want to hit what?
I don't know. I mean,
Right.
hit the road, Jack. I don't know. I don't know. Hit the books.
Hit the hard work.
Yeah, hit
Pow.
the street.
Kapow. Hit the streets.
Just she's been up for 6 hours. So
Right. She hasn't slept. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
and now this next section, I'm
Yeah,
really
we segue
yeah.
to June at university.
I'm wondering. I kept wondering as I was reading this section, kind of a precursor. I was like, I wonder how Kirsten feels about this whole thing that's about to go down. Like
I
all I could
mean,
think about the whole time.
there's one comment that in my mind, I don't know. I find this one comment from Junko that is like super relatable. So we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I'm like, that's something I would say. I guess I can't be as mad at her as I want to be. Um, so she sees Shoji and yells at him and like waves him over.
Mhm.
Um,
Pretending she's there for a happy reason, June.
right, but he automatically looks nervous. Like he has his nervous Shoji face on
Yeah,
the whole time.
yeah, that's true.
The whole time.
That is true. He's like, ah,
He's like
ah.
perma guilt. Perma guilt.
Yeah, he's sweating. He's
I know.
sweating.
He's sweating. And he's got like his weird cheesy like his eyebrows are always like not just in the second panel but in the first one too. Like there's the weird smile and like this is how he makes this face when he's in trouble.
Hmm. It is
He
his,
does. It's his trouble face,
yeah, his, you've been snuffed out face.
right? So he says, "Hey Junko, it's been a long time." And she's like, "Well, it's the first time we've seen each other at the uni."
Mm-hmm.
So like it hasn't been a long time. It's just the first time they've seen each other at school. Because like wasn't he there like last week getting drunk and complaining?
Yeah, he was.
It's not a long
He,
time. What is with
yeah,
time?
it's time. It might have been, it was 6 weeks ago.
But
It
she's like
was,
giving him a hard time, just being like, "Are you sure you come regularly?" Because yeah, if they've been in school what for like two
hmm
weeks, I think, and they haven't
yeah.
seen each other yet, um,
I don't know. I feel, I guess maybe ran into each other randomly. I think June tracked him down. That's what I think. But that's
I
just my
mean,
read.
I don't, I don't. I think that they did candidly run into each other.
Oh, okay.
I think that like she maybe had some pre-intention to like pay
hmm
attention for him,
Right.
right? But I think that she didn't like stalk him down.
In my read, she totally did. She's like, oh, all right, I'm going to find him. Oh, there he is. That's just my take. Because
And so he's like, yeah, I attend classes regularly because she's like, do you even come to school regularly? And then calls her arrogant. And this dude bro, he gets like quite a little like couple of cells for never being introduced as a character. I was thinking about that,
yeah,
and I'm like, he actually like gets some like lines in. Like that's not exactly normal for someone who doesn't have a reoccurrence.
true. But also, maybe he's like, I don't know, reader insert because this guy later like calls Shoji out.
Yeah,
Like, just,
yeah, that's true. That's true. They
and
needed
he's like,
somebody without bias.
yeah, he's like saying what the readers are thinking.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That could be. And so he's like, Shoji, I'm going. Do I answer the preset for you? And then Shoji's like, oh yeah, no, yes. And he's like, decide, you're such an indecisive guy.
Facts.
Act depending on the situation. And it's like, yeah, dude's known him for like 2 hours. And he's like, make up your fucking mind.
Facts. And then June asked him if that is the rumored Sachiko.
Oh, so famous.
Ah, and he
Shoji drinking
spits his
coffee
coffee
and
out.
spits it out
Yeah, he's like,
with his crazy eyebrows. And he's like, no, what? The famous? What are you saying? And she's like, whoa, oh, so panicked. It's becoming
Mhm.
more and more suspicious. And he's like, please leave me alone. That idiot Kyosuke, he tells Junko everything.
Well, yeah, dude. Like,
Dude, yeah, of course.
of
Come on.
course.
Come on.
To Junko of all people. Well, who else, man? Like,
They live together and they
mhm.
talk.
Yeah,
And they're both invested in their friends.
they have a good relationship.
And they're both invested in their friends.
Yeah.
Like they really are, even though like they're living their own life too. Like they have good boundaries with these
Yes.
crazy children. um
Been
so
here.
Junko says, we'll let the young man earlier to answer for you.
hmm
And you'll tell me everything, right?
yeah. And she's like grabbing him by the shirt and is
Right?
like, you're gonna tell me
We
whether you
need
like it or
to
not.
talk.
Yeah.
And so then we go back to dude, and his name is Matsudo. Um,
Oh, it's Masudo. Mine says Matsuda.
oh yeah, no, it's Da.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, brain broken.
Brain's
Um,
broken.
brains not talking to each other. Um, and so Sachiko is like, have you seen Shoji today?
hmm
Because, and then what he says is not in my bubble. So it's like off the side. It looks like
Oh,
it got disaligned.
oh, he's like, he was with me up until just now. He ran into some girl he seemed pretty friendly with. It looked like they needed to talk, so I kept walking. And,
Oh, I was talking about in the up here. Have you seen
oh,
Shashamajay? He says, I think it says isn't here. I can see some of the letters. Um,
Mm.
and then yeah, the next one it says, "Sure, I was with him a little earlier, and then he met a
Mm.
girl he knew very well. She seemed to want to talk to him, so I left them alone."
Mm.
And Sachiko's like, "Oh,
Yeah, she's just
so cute."
she's like, oh, that's yeah. And then he twigs on to like her reaction, and he's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, no, it's not like that. I don't think she's his girlfriend, so don't worry about it. And then
And
poor
it's like,
she looks embarrassed, and she tries to cover for herself. She's like, Matsuda, I don't like Shoji like that. We're just good friends. And he's like, you don't have to lie to me. It's totally obvious. And then she's blushing for days
oh
because
yeah, like
it's
he
true.
says, "But what are you saying? It's obvious."
I mean, it is obvious.
It's
So
obvious. It's so obvious.
poor baby.
Um, and he says, "At first I thought you two were dating. I was really surprised when I learned that Shoji had another girlfriend."
Hmm.
And she says, "Yes, me too. I only learned it very recently. Honestly, it surprised me a little." And he's like, "How come? He was hiding it from you? That idiot. It really
Yeah.
sucks."
Yeah.
Like, he's like passionate.
Yeah, he's very passionate, but he's not wrong either.
No,
So
but he's also a creep.
he's also it's weird. It's like you have like guys like this. It's like they're obviously like ew, but then they have moments
Right.
like
He's like,
this.
yeah, he like steps up and he's like, "I'm gonna like, dude, it is fucked up, right?"
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
is. Because
It
it
is.
is. Because it is.
It is.
And Sachiko goes on to defend him and he's like, "Don't protect him."
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah,
like, "What a
no.
soft heart, tear, tear, tear." You know, like the anime like side cry.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "Well, sit down, Sachiko. You don't want to give up on Shoji and go out with me? Question mark. I'll take care of you." And then she's like, "Sorry, but I haven't signed up for this class, and you already have a girlfriend where you come from, right? That's what Shoji told me."
Which,
That's why he's a
okay.
creep.
Okay, yes, that, but also Shoji, you have the time of day to tell her
Right,
about
other
other
people's business,
people's
but you're
relationships.
not your own fucking business.
Oh
Like,
God. Like I told Nate that like yesterday when I was like telling him about this chapter and he was just like, yeah, he's fully on like he hates Shoji train. He's just like, wow, dude. So you told him about that guy? Couldn't wow. I'm like, right, right. He's like, I hate him. Meanwhile, your Nathan is like, Shoji. And I'm like, ah.
well, I think that like well, and I also you have to remember Nathan hasn't read this since it was coming out, like in torrent scans.
He's still gonna like it. It's just
Well, yeah, no, he's still gonna
Nathan.
love it. He loves all of her works. Like he's the one who used to torrent them for me.
Oh no, I mean he's still gonna like Shoji because I just
Oh
feel like it's
yeah,
such a
I mean,
Nathan thing. He's like, I
like,
stand by what I said.
I mean, I yeah, I don't know though. I think that he likes Shoji in the way that he's just a dude and he's just goofy. Like I don't think that Nathan was commenting on like ethics or morality.
Oh,
And I
okay.
haven't seen him to like be like, "Okay, I need you to
Mhm.
reread these and I need your opinion."
Right. Like right now.
Right? Here, I have the chapters for you. I'll print them
Right.
out. You can take them home. I need a
Right.
500, at least a 500-word essay by next week.
Right. He'd do it too.
Probably,
Probably.
probably. He loves it.
Yeah.
But like, but dude, we didn't in his head, he's thinking, so you let down your friends, you'll see what happens. He's mad. We did like he's
He
a creep
is.
and he's mad, but he's mad at Shoji for being like he thinks that like Shoji let him down by saying that he had a girlfriend. It's yucky.
Ew, that's like no bro code icky
Yeah, it's
icky.
yucky. It's yucky.
No.
But yeah, so we're back at June. So she's yelling at Shoji and calling him a jerk and saying I was wrong about you.
Yes.
And Shoji's like, but in reality, it's just that I hadn't talked about it with you yet. I wasn't really hiding it. And June is yelling,
Mhm.
don't try to justify yourself.
Yeah, in mine, he's like, I just sort of forgot to mention it. And I'm like, okay. I'm with June. She's like, no.
right? Um, and June says, I'm sure you wanted to hide the fact that you already had a girlfriend and that you intended on dating both.
Mm,
You're already halfway. And he's like, Junko, do you think I'd be so good?
well,
I mean, you're already doing it, bro.
right? Like,
Like,
mm,
you're actually doing that.
mm-hmm.
And she was like, about that, not at all. But it's because you left yourself desire too easily. Uh,
In mine, she's just calling him stupid, and she's like, "You're too stupid to do that, but you got greedy. You're just as innocent as rain and about as thoughtless."
oh my goodness. Yeah, mine does not say that. It
Oh
says,
yeah, no.
but it's because you let yourself desire too easily that you find yourself in an ambiguous situation and that you end up breaking girls' hearts.
Oh, she's much nicer in yours. Mine, she's just
Dude,
like,
no, that's
"You're an
actually,
idiot."
I mean, I wouldn't say it's nicer.
Oh, really? I don't
I would
know.
say that it's not like an ad hominem insult. I would say like it's a read on him,
Mm,
right?
should take that for later. You're as innocent as rain and just as thoughtless. People are gonna be like, "Excuse me?" It'll be like, "Yeah, yeah, that's right."
It dawns on him though at this point, I think I hurt her.
Yeah.
And she was like, of course she's hurt. Sachiko, she's in love with you, right?
Yes.
And he's like he's just fucking realizing, like right now.
Oh,
He's so
yeah.
dumb.
He's so dumb.
But maybe I'm the one to imagine things. She didn't clearly tell me that she loved me. And even after, she's always acted as a friend. And June is like,
June's face is, yeah, it's her face was my face. But just that.
right? Death warmed over and I want to murder.
Yeah.
And she says, psychologically, you haven't changed since college.
Yeah, that's
Impossible
facts.
to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Junko,
He's
give
like,
me some advice
hell.
instead of telling me such things. If I
Uh,
ever hurt her, how do I fix things?
what
And
do I
June's like,
say?
stop seeing her.
Yeah.
The more time you'll spend with her, the more her wound will grow deeper. Do you understand? And like, I can hear June saying that in my head. Like,
Yeah.
cold.
Oh, yeah, it's so cold.
She's
It's
super curt
hmm
and
but that's
direct.
but he asked. He was like,
He
"What do
did.
I do?" And she told him. So, dude, you asked. Like, you don't get to have like this
Right.
face.
Yeah. Like the fact that you just didn't even realize you were hurting this girl until this moment, like, fuck off. Like, you don't deserve any of them.
No.
You need some self awareness first.
Oh, Shoji.
So now he comes up with excuses and he's like, we go to the same uni and work at the same place.
Mm,
So stop seeing her.
yeah, she's like, I just told you. I don't know what else. Like, you got to get things straight, straight with Nana. And then I don't know if she does this in yours, but in mine, she's like, "Do you like Sachiko more than Nana?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Stop lying, dude."
Oh, um, like she says, shouldn't you think about seeing Nana more often? And then that's that his look of shock, like kind of sad. And
Hmm.
then she's like, Sachiko is more important than Nana for you? Question mark.
I mean, yeah, but is he also like no in
And he's
yours,
like,
which is
no. Yeah, he
a
says
lie.
no.
It's a
And
lie.
well, I think the questions are also different because she's asking, is Sachiko more important than Nana to you?
Yeah,
Right?
but yeah,
And he
I
says
know.
no, but I think it's because he hasn't admitted to he's not aware. He doesn't
No,
know yet. Like
but
he doesn't realize it yet. He
he's got
doesn't.
like the face, he's got the
I
slight,
know.
like tiny little blush lines, which kind of
I
tells me
know.
that he's
I think
like
he's
if,
angry.
oh, see,
In
I
mine, he
think
says, I
it's,
didn't do anything to Nana that requires me to have to spend more time with her.
yeah, I don't know. If he was like well, again, like you said, he's not like aware, but I'm just like that no, that loud
He's not
no.
aware until
It
the
just,
end
I
of
don't know.
this
It like
chapter. I don't think he's
true,
aware at all.
but I don't know. I kind of felt, I don't
I
know.
don't think he's aware of his feelings and the
I don't.
differences between them. I
I
really
just,
don't.
I think he's saying no too loud. That's
I
like
think
a
he's becoming aware, and that's why he's defensive. Is
he's
because he's becoming aware right now.
he's protesting too much. That's how I
Hmm.
feel. He's just
Right.
like
Because it's
that no is
subconscious,
loud.
though. He's being reactive because he hasn't thought about it yet.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm like,
It's
dude,
why he's being defensive. It's a guttural reaction.
it is, even though like,
Subconscious. I
uh,
know. I know. I
I
know.
know, and it's so frustrating because I'm just like,
But
you
like the fact that he
know, it's a
says that he
lie.
didn't do anything to Nana that requires me to have to spend more time with her, they don't see each other.
Yeah, in mine, he doesn't say that. He's like, I haven't done anything that I have to explain to Nana, and I'm like,
Yeah, mine is
what?
specifically on spending more time with her.
Yeah,
Like,
mine is like, I haven't done the sex with Sachiko, so therefore I don't need to explain myself. And I'm like, eek,
yucky.
that's gross.
June is like, maybe, but Nana seems to suspect something between you and Sachiko. And he's like, huh? And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I heard her mumbling stuff about Sachiko, like how she was a servant of the demon lord, etc. And he goes, oh, she was talking about the virtual Sachiko. June's like,
Yeah.
huh, the virtual Sachiko?
Yeah, she's so confused. She's like, what? Like the
It's like, but as soon as you hear that, you should just be like, oh, it's Nana. Wait, she made her up? Wait, what? The
yeah.
demon lord's real.
Oh man. And then he's like just like I don't
He
know.
doesn't. Well, he doesn't. Well, no. It's what's the virtual Sachiko? And he's like, I don't know. He doesn't know what the virtual Sachiko is. I would have
No.
liked to ask you the same question. I've had it. I've had enough of her. Do something, please, June.
He's like, please help me. She's like, okay,
Right.
let's
She pats him
oh,
on the back. You're doing very well. You're admirable. And she's like, I understand very well that tired of Nana, you're looking for peace with Sachiko. And he's like, peace?
mm-hmm.
You're great, Junko. That's the exact thing. It's true that when I'm with Sachiko, I feel peace. She's the kind of girl that calms you, don't you think? And then June yells at him and is like, but you dated Nana knowing that she was a tiring girl.
Yep.
So assume and continue dating her.
Or contrary wise, he could break it off if he
Right.
knows.
Right. He could.
He
He
could.
could. You know. Um and he's like, of course, that's what I intend on doing. I think Kyosuke told you, but I'm determined to the point of wanting to marry Nana. I'm ready to stay with her until the grave. And June is yawning at this. Uh, it's not necessary to do so much. In the same grave as a follower of the demon lord, you won't be able to rest in peace. And he's like, Junko, whose side are you on? And then this part right here is what I was talking about earlier. And she's like, none. Let's just say I'm on Justice's side.
Yeah.
Is that what yours says?
Mine says both, neither. I'm just on the side of good.
Okay.
And I'm
Okay.
like, okay. And so the thing that I didn't really get to mention in like the last episode when you were like, I'm really mad at Jude because she knows that Sachiko's real and she hasn't said anything to Hachi. Um, I was like, I think part of the reason she didn't say anything, and this is just me, is like she was kind of holding Hachi's hand for so long, like doing all the things, helping her run her freaking life. This woman is tired. Like like Sachiko is real. It's just like I think she's just letting it alone because this is clearly like that this is their relationship and June doesn't need
Right.
to run it. That's
No,
just
and there's
my
like that I
yeah.
agree with that part of it. I think that in this case, like their friendship in high school is not the same as their friendship now.
Mhm.
Um And I mean, she's not doing that for Nana anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's like the loyalty of friendship.
Yeah.
And I think that that trumps that.
Fair.
But like in that comment, like that she makes of not being, she's not on a side,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I get that.
Yeah.
I do understand that part, right? Of taking a stance of I'm not on anybody's side. I just want this to be like healthy and safe.
Yeah.
Um,
Fine, chaotic good.
no, yeah,
Yay.
no matter like the outcome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that Shoji is fucking up.
Yeah.
And
He's so upset by that comment too.
right. And I do like I don't know. At this point, I think that because nothing has happened, then that leaves like a gray area to June saying something. And June did kind of say something. She just didn't say it is a literally something because it was
Mm-hmm.
still like suspect.
Right.
I think that June needs more hard evidence before she's like willing to say something. But
Mm-hmm.
I do also think that if she really does care that much about Nana, she would say something.
True.
Right? Like, even if it's just, hey, so Sachiko's real and works with Shoji and goes to school with Shoji, and they've gotten really close.
Mm-hmm.
And because she did say, like, you need to spend more time with him,
Yeah.
but that wasn't enough.
Nope.
She could have said more without it being like he's cheating on you because, like, that's not confirmed yet.
Nope.
Right? But it's only
Yeah.
been like a day.
Yeah.
And so, like, I actually like kind of appreciate the fact that instead of spiraling Hachi out of control, she went straight to Shoji,
Yeah. It's
being
more
like,
better.
"Dude, like, shape up or ship out.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
What do you want here? Because like what you're doing isn't cool."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, as June walks away, he turns around and he's like in his head about it, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
um, "Just let her have fun for now. One day I'll show everybody her college pictures." Oh, I read it backwards because like he's talking about how he's in his head threatening June to show everybody pictures of her as a Yankee.
Yeah, which I was just like, that just makes June cooler, dude. I don't
I
think
know, right? Except like it's not cool though. Like that's the thing.
I know. I know. I
Uh,
know. In the weird like little headcanon that lives in my head, her and oh no. The blonde girl from Fruits Basket, whose
yep.
name
I just
what?
like I had that image before you said
Yeah.
anything, and I'm like, they
Okay,
were
good.
besties. They were
You're right,
totally
they were
besties.
friends. They were friends. Yay!
Yeah.
Running in the same gang together until they got out of that life.
Right. No, in middle school, before like June went to the all girls school.
Right,
When she went to
right,
school, when she went to school with Shoji.
right,
Yeah, so we just came up with like part of the backstory and how universes collide.
right. Yay, Arisa. That's her name.
Yes.
Arisa. Yes. They're total. Yes. I love
Yeah.
it.
So now he's like stuck in his head, but like his head is empty because it's empty.
It
Um
is empty.
I'm like, that's enough of an insult, I think. And so then does something hit her head?
he.
And he goes,
Oh.
huh, because she's like standing there.
He like
And then she
spins.
gulps, but like, is that her hat?
Her hat like flies off because she's.
Okay.
Well, it
And now
doesn't
she's
fly
like,
off. It's like, yeep.
yeah.
He saw me.
And yeah, okay. And so now they're both like panicked. And
Mm-hmm.
her is Sachiko. Sorry. Sachiko was standing
Yeah.
in an alley
Yeah.
area, overhearing the conversation.
Accidentally on purpose.
Accidentally on purpose because like it's Sachiko.
Yeah.
And he's like, why is she here? And she's like, oh, Shoji, I was looking for you. Here is the book that you lent me. I was telling myself that I had to hurry to give it back. Thanks a lot. And he goes, oh, yeah, but you can give it back whenever you want, even at work. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry. No, you didn't have to apologize, is what he said back. And now they're both like awkward in silence. And they're both like super awkward because it's awkward. It is awkward. It is awkward.
Yeah.
And so he's like, and since when were you here? And she's like, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to spy on your conversation. But when I heard you talking, I couldn't move. That's like how it plays in my head.
Yeah, she's just like I think it comes out in a rush. You know, she's
Yeah.
just like, I'm so sorry, I did the things and oh, I didn't mean to, and she's so embarrassed.
She's
Poor
so
thing.
embarrassed. And like that's valid, but I also understand like I don't know, I understand how she could have felt frozen. Yeah, that's a big conversation over here.
It is. Really is, especially when he's like, I'm gonna go to the grave with my girlfriend.
Right. And so he's like, all right, but since when? And she's like, of course of course she's hurt, Sachiko. She's in love with you, right? And then Shoji faints.
He falls over. He's just like, oh god.
Fuck. Like the whole thing.
Yeah.
All of it. He heard everything.
Yeah. She's like, Shoji! Because he's, you know, on the ground.
On the ground, freaking out. And she's like, sorry, are you okay? He's like, yeah. I'm warning you. It's not to stop myself from laughing, but I just hurt myself. A little anemia. He blames it on anemia. Does he blame it on anemia in yours?
No, his blood pressure.
Okay. And she's like, I'm really sorry. And he's like, no, you don't have to apologize. Because the one at fault is myself. And then in the banner it says tense conversation or tense confusion.
Mine says mass confusion, so close enough.
Close. And then he's like, see ya, and he runs away. He's like, and I'm out. Beep.
Yeah, and I'm out. Bye. And then
he's like, this is bad. What will I do?
Yeah. But he doesn't even know. Yeah, he's like, I don't even know what I want to do. I'm like, yeah, you don't. You should think about it.
Yeah, he says, and mine really got to think seriously about the way I should act with her from now on. And then it flashes to June. The more time you'll spend with her, the more her wound will grow deep. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I love June.
June's, it's good in that moment. And he's at Jackson Hole now. He didn't go to class.
He goes to Jackson's. He leaves school midday. We don't even know if it's morning. He was having coffee. I think, like, is it morning? Is it midday? It's still daytime. Let's just put it that way. It's daytime. He goes to Jackson's.
Yeah. He's like,
and he's like,
Sato, I can't keep running away. And Koichi's like, what? Like, I'm just talking to myself. He's like, okay, but like you yelled out my full name. Like, what?
Right.
And poor Koichi. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're.
And like in mine it says gibberish, and then it says, "Didn't you call out my first and last names?" And he's like, "I'm talking to myself." Oh, and why aren't you attending classes today?
Yeah, why are you here day drinking, man?
Right? Like, seriously, like he ran away to the bar.
So upset. He's like, damn, yeah, why am I here at Jackson? I was just at school.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, he has no idea how he got here.
Oh god. And Koichi is like, if you already start skipping classes to come drink here, I wouldn't dare imagining the rest. And Shoji's like, huh? Yeah. But in fact, why am I here? Oh man. So he's skipping class to go get smashed.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's like, oh, what
because he's running away.
Mm-hmm. And he's thinking about Sachiko. He's thinking about Sachiko in his head and how cute she is.
Yeah, like that's the thing, is he's just fucking really realizing. Like he's just really realizing.
But he keeps like I don't know, like bulking because he's thinking about her, and then he's thinking about June being like, "Do you like Sachiko more than Nana?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah, but he doesn't think about Nana. And so like this honestly reminds me though of not just with like the previous Yasu thing, but like even in other conversations where like Shoji's always the last that she uses to convince herself not to like other people,
Mm,
right?
true,
So they're kind of in the same boat.
true.
Um and yeah, so he's like thinking about her and how adorable she is
Mm-hmm.
while like the words are replaying, and then he's like no, and he screams. He
Mm-hmm.
screams, smells his beer. And then he
He's
tells
he
and then
scares
tells
Koichi.
he scares him, and then he's like, I'm off to work. And Koichi's like, you can't go to work in that state. So he's going to work drunk because like now we have to assume that he's actually been drinking
Yeah, he just like,
because of what
no.
Koichi says. So it wasn't just the one,
Yeah, he's like, I
right?
gotta go break it off right now. And Koichi's like, break like what off?
Break up, right? He's like, what are you
Yeah,
talking about?
like, I'm gonna lie in the same grave as Nana. I'm like, you're not making any sense, dude.
Right, right. And mine he says, I'll show you that I'll end up in the same grave as Nana. Dude, Koichi. Koichi's like, grave?
Yeah, same. He's just like, what? What? But
I
now he's
mean, in
thinking.
his yeah, he's in his head. He's
Yeah.
having a classic Nana or Hachi moment where he's like,
Mm-hmm.
since the day we met, I told myself I shouldn't see her too often. So why am I letting myself desire like this?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're better suited. You're just handling it like a
Poorly.
young man.
Yeah. I mean, in mine, he's like, that's exactly what the Demon Lord wants. And I'm like, yeah, actually. Yes.
Same with mine. And then it says off to the side, it won't happen. And it's like, it is happening.
It is happening.
This is Hachi magic, okay?
Yeah, game set match, dude. It's over.
Right? So now we're at blast practice.
Mm-hmm.
And she holds out the like Nana holds out the microphone to Hachi, and then this is like one of like this little like sketch is actually pretty iconic when you search for the manga. This one comes up quite a bit where they're where Hachi is singing and Nana is just sitting there.
Yeah, I know. I like that she's like laughing because I get the sense that she's kind of laughing at Hachi because I don't think Hachi's
Oh no, she totally is.
good at
Oh, she
singing.
totally is. She has to be. She has to be. But also they're having fun and like
Yeah.
that's the thing is they have a lot of fun at this point still.
Mm-hmm.
Not to make it sad, but they're still having
Oh,
fun. And then the words
yeah.
above though, it's that's I assume that that's Shoji's like saying I
Yeah.
swear I won't betray Nana.
Yeah. Those are his thoughts.
And so then we pan into some tennis shoes because Sachiko brought shoes with her to run to the train.
Hmm.
Um,
Real shoes.
and real shoes, like tennis shoes, to change out her heels. And one of the other girls, random girl number two, um,
Mm-hmm.
you always come with super cute high heel shoes, so why do you leave with running shoes? And Sachiko is like, because I have to run to catch the last train. And Shoji side eyes her,
Hmm.
and then they leave. And she's like, Sachiko's trying to leave in a hurry.
She is, but she's also like the look she gives is like
Mm-hmm.
I can tell internally that she's sad, but she's like, I'm
Oh
just gonna
yeah, no, like
pretend.
it hurts. Her heart
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah.
But
Let's just
like
pretend it's
she
fine. I'm fine.
genuinely, right, exactly. She genuinely loves him, which is why she's willing to be his friend.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole thing there. And so Shoji was waiting for her and she's like, we have to hurry. And he's like, wait, I gotta talk to you. And then like she's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
Oh no.
again, back to that really previous early conversation though, when you say you have to talk to somebody, the assumption is it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because usually or with a lot of people, when they say we gotta talk, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Even though
is.
it shouldn't be. You should be
It,
allowed to say, we got to talk about that without it having to be an issue.
true.
normalize clarifying that you would like to talk with someone so that it
Yeah.
doesn't always feel like it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, and also maybe this is just like like a me thing, but like maybe give like a parameter, instead of being like, oh, hey, we gotta talk, it's be like, okay, so we need to talk about the sink. You,
Hey,
you
no,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Instead of
Like,
don't leave it open ended. Clarify.
yeah,
It's
like don't,
clarity. Use
yeah,
clear
don't,
communication.
yeah,
Be detail
because
oriented. It's okay. It doesn't hurt.
yeah, because the open-ended stuff that makes me have a panic attack, like
Right. Well, yeah. It
every,
reminds me of like childhood and not
uh-huh.
healthy communication.
Uh-huh. Same. Just like I had to like tell my parents that like not too long ago. I'm like, Mom, when you say we need to talk, I need you to tell me about what? And she's
Yeah.
like, is that an issue? And I'm like, it has been since forever. And she's like, oh, I'm like, I just never told you. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Now she's very good at like telling me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just as a society, we need to get better at communicating more clearly and not assuming that people know what's in your head.
yep.
I'm somebody who needs a lot of details. A lot.
hmm
A
I need
lot.
to know
I've
everything.
had yeah, and I've had to normalize asking, like feeling more comfortable asking, well, I need more information. Like that's too vague or that's too broad.
Yeah.
Like I need you to
We'll
clarify or define. Can you define that for me? Because
we'll fill in the rest.
yeah.
I'll fill in the rest. I will fill in the rest if you don't. Like if you don't, I will just fill in the rest.
Right.
So give
Exactly.
me
Yeah,
everything.
I will make assumptions and they will be wrong.
Me too, but at least they'll be interesting
And I'll have like
assumptions.
20 different avenues of assumptions and you will then have to work through them.
Yeah. I
So
built my
it's
wall. Good
better for
luck.
you.
Yeah. Just be clear.
Hi, welcome to my labyrinth. This is your discussion.
Right? You are
uh,
Sarah. I am the Goblin King. Hello.
right? Right? Have fun. You started this.
You did.
The umbrella was too big, sir. Too big. Um, and so let's see.
She's
Talk.
making a sad face. She's
She
making a
made a
very sad
sad face,
face.
and he's like, "Don't make such a face." And he's like, "I can't look at her." And he's like, "We can talk while walking. Will you hear me out?" And I'm like, "Jesus, Shoji." And then he's like, "If we miss the train, I'll pay the taxi for you."
hmm
And then now he's stuck in his head. But to break
hmm
up, what do I say and how? And say we have to break up to a girl that's only a friend is weird. It's a breakup. Would it be okay? Why do I have to
Uh,
say such a thing? Sachiko hasn't done anything bad. She's even really kind. She is really sweet. What should
yeah.
I do?
All
And
the
then he's like, I
things.
gotta say something. And then he's like, say, and he yells it, and she's crying.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
crying.
She's
She's
and it's
crying.
like, oh, poor thing.
Right? She's crying. And he's like, sorry, I'm really sorry. And she's like, it's not your fault at all, Shoji. I'm the one who got carried away all by myself. I did it purposefully,
He didn't say anything.
right? I try not to embarrass. I'll try not to embarrass you. I swear I won't disturb you and your girlfriend. So I beg you, even if we're just friends, don't tell me you want to break up. And then he hugs her.
He
At this
hugs
moment,
her like so hard he picks
I
her up
know.
off the
I
ground.
know.
Like,
But at this moment he chose her.
yeah. Yes.
He didn't realize he was choosing her the whole time, but he was.
He was.
But at this moment, he did choose her.
Yeah. He did.
Um, Shit happens,
It does.
right? I think they're better
Mhm.
suited for each other anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like go be like quirky little art people together. Like, yes.
Right. You guys have this the demon lord created her for you in your image, i.e., your job, your school, your
Right.
major. Like,
Right. He's like, "You're welcome.
you're
You're
welcome.
welcome."
Divinely intervened. Here's a
Yes.
girl. I made virtual Sachiko real.
It did.
Thank Nana, because Nana is actually, the
Yeah.
demon lord at this point.
Yeah, that's his My
Oh, that's a conundrum. So now we pan back to Nana, and she's on the phone, and she's saying, "Even so, it's weird." And or
she's
Hachi says that, and Nana's like, "Eh?"
yeah. She's
And Nana's
calling
like,
Shoji.
she's calling Shoji, and Shoji
Hmm.
should have finished his work, but it reached his message box. Maybe his batteries are dead. Um, I wanted to tell him I found a new job as soon as possible. And Nana fucking calls it.
Yeah, she does.
He wouldn't be cheating on you, would he?
She's like, no, no, Shoji isn't like
Shoji
that.
isn't that kind of guy. Yeah, she yells
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, she yells it.
And so she's like, I'm sending him an email with a little heart.
Hmm.
I'm still wondering which kind of company would hire a girl like you, says Nana. They're probably really in need of staff. So mean.
So mean. Oh, but Hachi doesn't care. She's just
Right?
like, oh, but you know, they said if I can learn publishing while I go for, they'll promote me to regular editorial. So I'm really gonna try this time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's
And Nana's
happy.
like, I can see you're more and more motivated. And she's
Hmm.
like skipping off. La di 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 da.
Yeah, yeah. She's so happy. She's like musical note. She's like, do.
If I'm hired, I'll be able to get a bonus and I'll get closer to the pavilion with a garden of my dreams. And Nana's like, a pavilion with a garden? That's your dream? Sounds cheesy. And she's like, yeah, it's so my dream.
Yeah, she's like, that's what I've always wanted. And then I like this
I
part.
do. I love this part. I love this part so much.
Mm,
It's so good.
it is.
Because Nana's like, then I'll build you one
Mm,
when I'll earn money with my songs. And Hachi's like, oh?
yeah, she's like a little blushy, a little bit like, what?
And then Nana's like, only your room will be the doghouse in the corner of the garden.
Right. And
Um,
Hachi's like got that kind of face, but
right? Right? She's like angry puppy.
yeah.
Angry puppy.
Angry puppy.
And so now we're like in this is like the Hachi flashback,
Yeah, it's in her
right?
head.
Um, if you had been a man, Nana, we could have lived a perfect love. That's what
Mhm.
I often thought at the time. So like that's
Yeah.
interesting because like it was very much at the time, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there if we wanted to unpack it.
Yeah, I mean it's so because like I was like thinking, she's like, I swear if Nana were a guy, she'd be the love of my life, and I'm just like, she can like still be the love of your life platonically. It's
Right,
fine.
right. Or I mean, I do still think that like it's quite possible that Hachi's bisexual, but
I mean, I won't knock it.
right.
I will not knock it.
Um, but like also Hachi wants that traditional life. So
Yeah,
like we know that.
yeah. But
Yeah.
why? It's because she really wants to, or because society says you need it? I don't know.
Right. I think it's the both and. It's the multiple truths in a story,
Truth. True.
right? It's just and I get it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
Mm-hmm.
totally get it.
Yeah.
Um it's just what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next screen is a big pair of shoes and a tiny pair of shoes.
Yes.
And we're still in the Hachi flashback. In that case, we wouldn't have had only good memories.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. But
Yeah.
now we have Shoji on top of Sachiko,
Yes.
touching her boobie.
Truth.
They're doing it.
They're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or there's still words from Hachi's flashback.
Yeah.
Because pain comes with love. Because love is a painful feeling to the point of wanting to drown. And like it's really clever like storytelling on Yazua's part for having that part be Shoji cheating on her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because love is a painful feeling to the point of wanting to drown.
True. I I also had this interesting thought that I'd never really considered when I got to the end of this, I was like, okay, so wait a minute. Like, he chose so he chose Sachiko. We
Yeah.
have like this moment where it's like he chose her. They had to get on the train and go all the way back to his place.
I know. I thought about that too.
Yeah, and I'm like,
And
and
I'm
at
like, did they
no point
discuss?
I didn't. I
Where's
didn't
we don't know.
know. I was like, wow, that was quick. Just like you didn't. Nothing was stopping you in your head. You were just like, we're getting on the train, and then we're going
We're gonna get on
straight
the
into
train
bed
and
together.
fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Um,
all of that, yeah, no,
all the
like
time, all the time taken
they just
to
flipped a coin.
they did, or it's one of those I don't know, like maybe they didn't say anything to each other on the
They just
train, and
started
it's
running
maybe
frantically,
maybe
hand in hand.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, maybe, or it was like you don't say anything because seriously, like you would have time on the train to be like, what the fuck am I about to do? You
right?
know,
Or was it not planned, and that they just wanted to talk, and then that ended up happening?
maybe that
You
could,
know what I mean?
yeah, I could see
Like
that.
to discuss, and then like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I can see that being more of a thing actually because I'm
Yeah.
just like, how do you get from train?
Yeah, and I think that would have to be more of a thing. Maybe not as much for Shoji as it would Sachiko.
Yeah,
Because she
and
is sweet and she does care, and I think she cares more than Shoji does.
yeah, and I can see it getting heated, like in a good way, while they're
Right.
there, and they're like, well, maybe we can just be friends, but she's like sitting too close, and
Yeah,
they're like,
no, and it was
right,
like
like,
fuck it. But
yeah,
I honestly envision if that's the case, then they're talking about their feelings and he is talking about how he has to break up with Nana.
yeah,
That's like how that's how if that were to happen it would play out in my head.
yeah,
Because he knows he has to break up with someone.
yeah.
But he's
So
also
this,
dumb as rocks, so like that might
that's
not even be
true.
on the table.
Like this scene, so like personal insert here, but like this scene is so reminiscent of the first time like Nate and I got together.
Mm.
Like not as friends, we were friends for a very long time, but like there were people in the way.
Mm.
And for me, it was he wasn't my ex at the point yet, but he needed to go away. He
Yeah.
needed to like go. Um, but we were sitting in his room. I'll never forget it, like sitting in this room and like we couldn't like keep our hands off each other and we kept saying like we need to like have conversations with these other people before we do
Yeah.
anything because they will be hurt, but
Right.
we also couldn't stop
Yeah, see,
touching
like
each other.
that's how I kind of saw it in my head.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
like that's why when people are
They
like,
went there to talk, but
yeah, but right. So I'm just like, and that's why in this moment I'm just like, I feel you, Shoji. Like I get it.
right, like that's the thing, and like he should have broke up with her first.
No, he should have, but
He should have broke
it's
up with her a long time ago.
no, that's true.
Um,
That's so true. But like when you're in like I've been,
I
oh
know,
dude,
but
like
like
it's like
I can't excuse like the cheating aspect of it because
no, I get it.
Nana's
Yeah.
not in the way. Like Hachi is not in the way.
No, that's true. Mine was because it was, I mean, their relationship is like not great. Mine was toxic,
Right, yeah,
like
no, yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it
So,
was. Um,
so,
right, but like that's the thing is like, and that's the subjective part of this and why I don't agree. Like
hmm
I understand, I'm not like I get it,
hmm
but like he isn't in a tumultuous relationship. He isn't in a toxic abusive relationship. He is in a
no.
weird ass relationship.
Is it a frustrating?
He could have waited 24 hours. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Heart
Right? That
waits for
like
no one.
he could have went home.
hmm
He could have been like, I need to break up with my girlfriend. I'm going to
hmm
go home.
True. But this is, I
That
think,
would have
so
been like the
good.
mature, healthy thing to do.
Yeah, but Yazawa is painting such a real picture of like,
No, it
but
is. It is. It
yeah, like,
is.
you know what you don't do? You don't do the thing you're supposed to do. Everything
Right,
is
absolutely.
messy.
Right. And
So,
like I do agree that like Sachiko is better for Shoji than Nana is.
yes.
And that Sachiko that Shoji is better for Sachiko than he is for Nana. hands down,
Yes.
150 billion percent. Um, right? And that's why I don't know. I don't really blame him for cheating on her because it doesn't 100% feel like cheating.
No, and that's this. Yeah, I mean, that's another reason why I'm not like mad at this section and why when I read some of the comments about, Sachiko and Shoji and all the things, I'm just like, but have you been here? Have you been in this position where there's somebody else and they are better and you feel happier and healthier when
Right.
you're with them? Or are you just looking at them going, he's cheating? I'm like, unless you felt this weird moment
But
of like,
also at the same time, like beyond like the cheating thing, were you paying attention?
true.
Like, were you paying attention?
Yeah.
Because like Nana or Hachi was choosing Nana over her boyfriend
Hmm.
constantly, right?
Yeah.
Like that was already happening too. It's a both
Yeah.
and situation, right?
Hmm.
And it's not okay that he's cheating. It's not,
No, no, I just
right?
don't
But
think,
it is a
yeah.
very realistic painted picture. Like
Yeah.
absolutely. This is why I'm like I could see this happening, right?
Yeah. It's why I just I just don't like it when people like throw stones at this
Oh yeah.
moment when I'm like,
No,
but
absolutely. It's always subjective and like people are going to get their read on it, right?
mhm.
And everybody's going to have a different like read or there's also going to be radicalized thought because that's what happens in forum spaces.
Yeah, and like
Um
different experiences. I'm just like, but have you felt this? And the answer is no. Then it's like, it's a
right.
feeling.
I don't
It
see
hurts.
that's the thing. I don't actually blame him.
Hmm.
I just think he's kind of dumb.
Yeah, he kind of dumb.
And
He
there are better ways to handle it. He's also a 20-year-old guy.
hmm.
This is the majority from my experience. So,
Yeah.
um
So we got the last part in
the last little
here.
bit, yeah. Let's see if ours are different.
Okay.
Okay. The first reason why I chose that job is that unlike selling jobs, we have weekend off. Weekends off. I'm going to correct the grammar as I go. We have
That's
weekends
fair.
off. So I told myself that I'd be able to spend more time with Shoji, whom I can't see during the week because of his classes and his jobs or his job. See, like that part though, I think that part is like kind of a hang up
Mm,
because
Mine,
she's still planning to be with him.
yeah, mine is kind same but different a little. Like the real reason I chose that job was so I could have weekends off, unlike retail. Shoji was too busy with school and work during the week. I wanted to make as much time for him as possible.
Mm,
The thing she wasn't doing before,
right, because she wasn't.
because she wasn't.
No, she was not making any time for him, right? Which is
Mm.
why she missed the boat. I think that's the
Hmm.
thing. She missed the boat, but also he's never in the forefront of her mind.
No, but
He's always in the back of her mind. He's always the last thing that she mentions whenever she's like lusting over someone else with her googly eyes.
mhm,
And he
but
did the same thing.
yeah, he's like
So
a blanket though. She expects he's always going to be there. So
I think that she kind of thinks that about most people.
true. You're
It's
just like a lamp. It's fine.
fine. At least right now. Like
Yeah,
later, she does mature. So,
true. But this is
because
the end of
shit
the
happens. This is
chapter.
the
Yeah,
end of
shit
that
happier.
chapter.
Yeah. This is the end of the chapter. So,
Yeah.
where can people find us?
Okay, so people can find us on Instagram at apartment707 underscore. We also have a link tree there.
Hmm.
Uh we did start a Tumblr. I still haven't done my login shit to get that set up.
That's okay.
Because yeah, busy. It's a busy week right now. And
Yes.
yeah, our links are there. Okay, our links are there. You can also respectively follow us if you would like. Um, you can find me at Kirsten M. Darling on all the things, including kirstenmdarling.com.
And I'm at Mothflace, MOTH_LACE on Instagram, and that has my link tree to all of my other bits and projects. You can also like email us at nanamangapodcast@gmail.com if you guys would like to, send us comments and stuff. That would be super cool. And I think that's all the things.
I think that's all the things. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is all the things.
Yeah.
Cool. We got that
So
covered.
Yeah. Bye forever.
Goodbye forever. Goodbye forever. See you next week.